on the lamp, 80, 80, will you give me 80? 80, 80, I got 80 now, $85. 85, 85, will you give me 85? I got 80 now, 85. 85 now, $90. 90, 90, will you give me 90, 90, will you give me 87 and a half? 87 and a half, will you give me 87 and a half? 87 and a half, will you give me 87 and a half? 87 and a half, anybody give me 87 and a half? Sold $85, bidder number 24. 24, bidder number 24, $85. Okay, we've got a blue-green rug, second floor. It's in the bedroom right on top of us. 25 is the opening bid. Who's going to give me 30? I got 30, now 30, no. I got 25, now 30. 25, now 30, 30. Anybody give me $30? 30, 30, I got 30, now 35. 35, 35, anyone give me 35 in the rug? 35, 35, 35, I got 25, now 30. 25, now 30, 30, anybody give me 30, 30, anybody give me 30? I got 30, now 35. 35, now $40, 40, 40, will you give me 40, 40, will you give me 40? 40, 40, will you give me 40, 37 and a half, will you give me 37 and a half? 37 and a half, 37 and a half, anybody give me 37 and a half? Teflon set in dining room.
There's a cooking set, Teflon, and it's the entire set, everything in the dining room, in the box and on the table. The entire set, all one money.
Okay, on the Teflon set, and I'm out of order. The computer was first. We're going to do the Teflon set. On the Teflon set, I got $50. Who will give me 60? 50 now, 60, 60. Anybody give me 60? 50 now, 55. Anybody give me 55, 55. Anybody give me 55? I got 50 now, 55. 50 now, 55, 55, 55. Anybody give me 55, 52 and a half. Anybody give me 52 and a half? 52 and a half. Sold $50 to bidder number 28. $50 to bidder number 28. We've got a computer. It's in the kitchen. All the computer system, we're told that it's very new. On the computer system, all the components that go along with that, the screen and the drives, etc. Yes, Rick?
And we were not able to access it.
I got a $50 bid now, 60, 60. Anybody give me 60? I got 50 now, 60. 50 now, 60, 60. Will you give me $60? I got 60 now, $70. 70, 70, 70. Anybody give me $70? I got 70 now, 80 now, $90, now 100. Now 110, 110. Will you give me 110, 110? Anybody give me 110? I got 110 now, 20. 110 now, 20, 20. Will you give me 120, 120? Anybody give me 120? I got 120 now, 30. 130 now, 140, 140 now, 150, 50. Will you give me 150? 150 now, 60, 60. Will you give me 170? 170, 170. Will you give me 170? Now 180, 80. Now 90, 90. Will you give me 190? 190, 190. Now $200. 200. Will you give me 200? Now 210. 210, 210. Will you give me 210? 210 now 20. 210 now 220. 220, 220. Anybody give me 220? 220, 220. Will you give me 220? Anybody give me 220? 220, 220. Sold $210 to bidder number 34. 210 to bidder number 34. 210 to bidder number 34. Work on the Bose stereo. I got a $50 bid, now 60. 50 now, 60, 60, 60 now, $70. 70 now, 80, 80 now, $90. 90 now, 100, 100 now, 10. And 20 and 30 and 40. Will you give me 50? 150 now, 60. 170, 180, 180. Will you give me 190? $200 and 210. And 220 and 230. Will you give me 240, 240, 250? Will you give me 260 and 270? 280, 290, 290 now 300, 310. 310 now 320. 320, will you give me 330? 330, 330, will you give me 325? 325, will you give me 325? 325, sold 320 to bidder number 22. 320 to bidder number 22. I'm sorry. All right, while we're doing that, let's go ahead just 70 now, 72 and a half. 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 72 and a half, and a 75 in the back. 75 now, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, will you give me 77 and a half and 80? 82 and a half, 82 and a half, 82 and a half. 85, 85, will you give me 85? 87 and a half. 87 and a half, will you give me 87 and a half and a $90? 90, 90, 92 and a half. 92 and a half, will you give me 92 and a half? 92 and a half and 95, 95, will you give me $95? 95. 95, 95, yes, no. 95, no, no. 95. Sold 92 and a half, bidder number 24. 24, thank you very much. Okay.
This is a right-handed cane because I'm left-handed and it doesn't work right. This is a right-handed cane.
We got a right-handed cane here. A right-handed cane, and we have a folding cane. Works with either hand. Okay. Rick, you may want to think about these. All righty, on your choice in the Thank you, now 75. 50 now 75. 50 now $60. 50 now 60, 60, 60. Anybody give me $60. Thank you, now 70. 70 to back, now 80. Now $90, now 100. And 110. 110, 110, will you give me 110? 110, 110, I got a $100 bid, now 110. 110, I got 110 and 20. 120, 120, will you give me 120 and $30. 130, 130, will you give me 1 and a quarter? 1 and a quarter, 1 and a quarter, will you give me 1 and a quarter? 1 and a quarter, 1 and a quarter, 1 and a quarter, anybody give me 1 and a quarter? 1 and a quarter? 1 and a quarter, sold 120 to number 43. 120 to number 23. Okay, 43, I'm sorry. 120 to 43. Okay, same game over here. And 80 now $90. 90, 90, will you give me 90? 90 now 110. 110, 110, will you give me 110 and 20 and 30? 130, 130, will you give me 1 and a quarter? 1 and a quarter, 1 and a quarter, 1 and a quarter, 1 and a quarter? 1 and a quarter, anybody 1 and a quarter? Sold 120 to number 31, 120 to number 31. All right, one more round, then how about $25? 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 105. Will you give me 105? 105, 105, 105, 105. 105? Sold $95 to number 35. 95 to 35. Anybody else at 95? Anybody else in here at $95? He took 1. Okay, I got 10 now 20. 10 now 20 and 30 and 40 and $50, $60, $70, 90 now $100. $100, $100, 95. Will you give me 95? 95, 95. Sold $90 to number 31. 90 to number 31.
Oh, you're talking about that? The garnet thing. Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go again. And who's going to give me $50? 50 now 60. 60, 60 now $70, $80. 80 now 90. 90, 90, anybody give me 90? 90, anybody give me 90? Sold $80 to 31. 80 to 31. One more time. How about $50? 50, 50, 50 now $60. 60, 60, will you give me 60? 50 now 60, 60, will you give me 60? 60, 60, sold $50 to number 35. Okay. Anybody else at $50? 50, 50? I got 10 now, 20 now, 30 now. 60, will you give me 60? 60, 60, will you give me 60? Sold $50 to bidder number 36.
I'm not in it.
Oh, you didn't?
I was not in it at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's read. You went 10 and go, so you were in it
right,
to begin with.
10, yeah, right.
Okay, then it went 20, and then 30. You weren't in it at 30?
30.
30, and then $40. Now 50? 50? Sold $40 to number 35. $40 to number 35. Okay, let's go ahead and sell it all together then, all one money, and who's going to give me $100 for what's left? 100, now 100 and a quarter. Now 50, now 75, now 200, now 2 and a quarter. 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter, 2 and a quarter. Will you give me 2 and a quarter? 2 and a quarter, now half. 2 and a half, 2 and a half, now 275. 275, now 300. 300, now 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter. Will you give me 3 and a quarter? 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter. Will you give me 3 and a quarter? I got 3 now, 3 and a quarter. 3 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter. Will you give me 310? 310. Will you give me 310? 310, sold $300 to bidder number